Hi, so let's get into some more details about databases. We have relational databases and NoSQL databases. Let's see some of the characteristics of each. In a relational database, the data are stored in tables, and the tables are connected in some logical way, usually through a column that matches records in a sensible pattern. The organization of a table is a lot like an Excel spreadsheet where the columns show characteristics, some kind of variable, and the rows show each record. We're going to see an example of that in a little bit. An important concept about a relational database is that they need to be minimally redundant. That is, you don't want to have the same information in more than one place. So for example, if I look at the database that supports a large university, I might have multiple tables that contain information about employees or about students. One example might be the employee address that might show up in multiple tables. And what if there's a change to that address? The person moves or the student moves. That information should only be updated in one place to avoid redundancy. Otherwise, this database would become unmanageable very, very quickly as changes happen. A related concept to that is the idea of maximal consistency. So we want to avoid conflicting information in the records, right? So for example, if a customer has a different address in different tables, that would be a problem because it would not be consistent. Some points about NoSQL databases. These are actually becoming a little bit more popular. One thing to note is obviously by the description, they do not use SQL to query data. The data is not organized into tables. They're usually used with very, very large databases. The data is often stored as JSON data, which we saw in our unit on APIs. The databases tend to have a lot of redundant information. And an example I mentioned earlier is MongoDB. That's the easiest to set up and get running. But some other examples of NoSQL databases are Google Bigtable and Amazon DynamoDB. We always need to know what kind of database we're working with because the way we extract information will differ. We will only work with relational databases in this class, but keep in mind that there are other types of databases out there. Python is commonly used with MongoDB, and if you are interested, there is a tutorial in the notes that you could take a look at.